Okay. Oops. All right. We are September 18th. We're going to try this again. For some reason, my program is not working today and I'm fighting with it. Okay. We are starting with a view of our sun. I'm going to rotate this through real close. You can see right here, mid-bottom, you can see a small pop right here. See it right here? We have a midline let go here. There is the beginning part of the eruption. Now you can begin to see the filament up here destabilize after this is let go and started to destabilize. So it started down here and it's roping its energy back up into here. I want you to look at the complexity right here and how high this is off the surface of the sun. Okay? I'm going to wheel this forward. That filament's lifting, and right there it starts to break. Okay, right here you can see it. All this stuff is breaking away. Oh, there it goes. And come here. I'm going to roll this backwards, and I want you to watch what happens, okay? See right here? Look where that filament was. You see how that's all snapping back together? And it's becoming a roping filament again. And it's all filling back in. That is called a magnetic reconnection. All those magnetic filament lines, after the loops broke, the broken ends snapped back together and reconnected, and it created an explosion large enough or larger than you can imagine. We're talking enough energy that could more than power the United States of America's entire power needs for days. That's how big these explosions are, that they can power everything in the United States, probably Canada too, for the matter of 3 or 4 days. Okay, that's how much energy just left the sun. So we're rolling this back. I'm going to, right here, you started to see the reconnection, but here's you're starting to see the filament lift off. And right there, and if I can get it to sit still, right here is all that plasma leaving the sun. And it kind of wraps right around down into here, wraps all the way back up into here. This is all leaving the sun right here. And it's moving down and away. So while some of it's going to come out enough to hit Earth, because it keeps expanding out and moving outwards, it'll expand and grow wider as it moves out. It is moving down and out to our incoming limb, or our outgoing limb. Can you tell I've had no sleep tonight? Then it's settling back in here. Everything's reconnecting. Look at that reconnection. Now, right here. Look right here. Here's some more plasma and tornadoes leaving the sun. But it's not coming from the sunspot here. It's coming from right here around the back side of the limb. It's coming from the sunspots that are coming at us. And I was listening to Tamitha last night. She said there are some real players on the backside of this sun, and I really think there is. Lesson time for you newbies. What are all these dark spots? Oh my goodness, look at them. All these big dark coronal holes. What do coronal holes give us? They give us strong, steady wind. that gets to us in about 3 days from Earth facing. So everything you see here is going to hit us in about 3 days. So we're going to get another bump up in activity. And anything we get that is eruptive in that 2 or 3 day period before it hits us is going to pick everything up and move it faster. This is where you get your big storms. When you have coronal holes and you have sunspot activity that produces CMEs, that is what gives you the monsters. So this is a baby yet. It has the potential of going around the back of the sun and growing while it comes around the sun and turning into something much bigger in the next cycle around the sun, which will be coming back around the sun about the 13th or 14th. So we're seeing it on the 17th, 18th. So you back it up 3 days. So it's not going to be, it's 27 days. So it's going to come in around the 14th. And that's when you can count on starting to see this activity again. Plus you have the stuff that came just before it. So, you know, you've got 12th, 13th, 14th. It's going to come back around. Looking at our sunspots. Our big news is back here. This is on our sunspot over there on the incoming limb, 3435. And I've been telling you, I keep seeing stuff coming off from the back side of the sun. We don't have just one sunspot. You can see two. There's something down here. There's something down here. And it almost looks like there's something over here too. So you have a whole stream of these coming on the back side that should be turning around in the next 2 days where you can see it. Looking at our CMEs, because we've had no flares to talk of, NOAA cannot make up its mind. It keeps jockeying back and forth, back and forth. Yes, it's going to hit us. No, it's not. It's going to be 180. No, it's not. It's going to be 90. It's going to be 180. It's going to be 90. They've been flip-flopping like fish. What I see. We do have a really dense storm, and I can tell that by looking at LASCO or looking at our cactus. This is massively dense, but it is moving down and away from us. The likelihood that this is going to be a direct hit is in the middle of the storm is not good. The likelihood that we're going to get slapped with the tail end of the storm is more than likely. We're going to get hit, but I doubt it's going to be the middle of it. It's probably going to be the tail. But the tail that we do get hit over here is really, really dense. This stuff I really think is coming from the back side of the sun. I don't necessarily think it's coming from the front. I think there was a CME lingering over here, and it's maybe referred wind, but I don't think it's, I kind of think it's not part of the CME itself. This maybe, but this over here is from coming from behind the sun. Okay. We've had a couple, 3 more CMEs. Most of them, I think, are going to be coming from behind the sun. And why do I say this? Oh, there's a, yeah. You look at this one and you can clearly see this really isn't coming from the front. It really does look like it's coming from that spot that we really can't see. It's kind of higher up on the sun. And it's in that spot that's planted just out of sight. So I think that this will be a complete miss. This down here will not. And this is that. We've had another little bump up here, down here, probably from 34, 37, that kicked off some activity. But you can see here, this you can kind of tell. This is, we haven't had anything here that would account for this halo here. And this halo looks like it's on the back side of the sun. It looks like, and I've kind of been seeing this for days. It looks like we have a really big sunspot on the back side of the sun that is continually kicking out big CMEs. And it is causing full halos, but they're going away from us. And we just don't have the satellite on the outgoing limb for us to have a view to know what that's doing. We only have the incoming limb and what's coming at us. We're kind of missing a satellite, and unfortunately they're going to take 10 years to put it out there, which does us no good now. Maybe we should take up a round of donations from every aurora hunter on Earth and, pay for that satellite. What do you think, people? Should we? Might do us some good. Okay. So that is what is there. This is what I'm seeing. I'm going to jog down here to forecast real quick. They are saying, yeah, they've got the NOAA forecast where it is hitting at 11 o'clock at night Eastern time and going through 8 o'clock on into the morning hours. Now, this is not giving us a whole lot of hope here, and I don't know if I agree with this forecast. They have calmed this right down to nothing here, and a couple of days ago I had something at a 7. I'm looking at what's coming and I'm saying, maybe we should have something more here. I'm thinking it's going to make it around the satellite again, or their sun. I don't foresee this dying out. This should be coming in around the 14th, 15th, and they haven't got it here yet. So they've got it up to the 30th. So I guess we're going to be looking at the 30th to try and have our get together. Looking at our forecast, newbies, this is lesson time. Everybody dial your ears up and pay attention. Looking at that KP value back here, this really means nothing. This is not what you need to be looking at. Right now, we're at a 544 kilometers per second, and I'd say NOAA was wrong, and we're going to get it hit now. Our density is off the charts. Guess what? Our CME just hit. BT is high. Our BZ is in the positive. The southern hemisphere is seeing us. We are not. So Australia this morning is going to be getting the shots like you never believe. Better check out the Southern Australia's group. They're going to rock and roll this morning. But this is negative down here in the red. This is green up here. The BZ is not going to do us any good. But I think they are completely wrong, and we are hitting our CME right now. We have had the other way to look at this. If you don't look at this page, is the space weather enthusiast. Which is really weird because, okay, we've had a jump up here. It's way up here at 10. wind speed is up here 550. Your phi angle is to the south. Yeah, they just haven't updated the KP to tell us that we're hitting. And this, they don't update quicker. This is why I tell you, do not rely on KP. Rely on your numbers. Whether it's right here in this, okay, let me find it here, or you're looking at an app like this. Okay, whether you're looking at an app like this, see where it says 700, you know, you've got your wind speed, your BZ, your density. Now, this isn't the correct one. This is just a picture of the app. But this is what you should be seeing and looking at. And I'm going to look at mine real quick right now. And 430 kp or BZ is a -6 and a density of 8 according to them. But I don't think it's updated quite yet. So I have two things that are telling me that we have hit our onset, that we are up there. This is up almost to a 10. This is hitting 550 kilometers per hour and then headed for a southern, well, we're down to a negative BZ there, but we will be headed for the south. So just to double check it, let's just go look at solar. Let's look at Solar Ham, what he has right now. Oh. Well, he's not got anything up saying we're hitting it yet either. So, we've gotten hit with something. Whether it's the big solar storm or not, I don't know, but we have gotten hit with something this morning. It is spiking our halo hit. Yep, here's our magnetometers. Our magnetometers are up. So if you go down here and look at, here's another thing you can look at, your newbies, is looking at your magnetometers. If these are rising and going up, then you know you're getting a sudden onset, that there is something out there right now when these things take a big jump up like this. KPs don't update quickly. If you're waiting for that KP, you're going to miss it. My quick, and here's my trick. I wait for this right here. You see how it goes up and down right here and a static jump back and forth? Means something hit a satellite. A satellite is about an hour ahead of us. It's out in front of us by a little bit, enough so that that will let me know it's getting hit. Something's coming for Earth. When we see these radical jumps up and down, like right here, it means something is coming. Get yourself out the door. It's here. Shortly thereafter, it bottomed out on the density, but then everything started going crazy and everything started rising. We had a short break from when this started jumping back and forth to when this started going up. That's what I look for. That's what I watch for. That's usually when I know something's coming. I don't wait for the KP to tell me. I look at my magnetometers. I watch this. That's when I know something's out there. Could this be throwing our entire forecast off? Yes, it could. So you need to know not to rely on KP, to look at the other numbers. You can have really slow wind and really high density and get rocked. You can have really high wind and really low wind and get a big storm. You can have somewhere in the middle of both and get a good storm. But the thing you have to have is a negative BZ. If it's a positive BZ, you will see nothing. The other thing you newbies need to learn, and I'm going to do this real quick and post this. Smoke, sand, humidity are worse than clouds. They will prevent you from seeing the sun. They act like little crystals in the air, and they will bend the light and diffuse it. They separate the color, and it makes the color soft. It's kind of like, you know why in August, it's the hot days of summer, it's really hot, it's really muggy, it's really humid, and we have these brilliant orange sunsets? It's because the humidity in the air, the droplets of water in the air bend the light, and what we see with our eyes the easiest is red. And so the orange and the yellows are what we see the most prevalent at sunset, and that's the light, the color that gets separated out that we see the easiest. And that's why we have brilliant August sunsets. Well, we're kind of going to get that with our auroras too, but it's going to be like putting wax paper in front of a light bulb. It's not going to be much fun. Now, we have an incredible amount of clouds still out there. They say it's going to clear up by dark. It may, if it's moving fast enough. I'm looking at this and it does not look all that quick here. It looks like there's a lot getting drawn back down into our area. Maybe it will get pushed out by dark, but we are going to have 98% humidity by midnight. By midnight, it is going to be so humid out there that you could take a bath in the air. It's going to be that humid and muggy out. And it will diffuse every bit of light you see. So the chance to get really sharp auroras are not going to happen tonight. More than likely, we are going to get fog. The air is going to get much colder than the ground, and more than likely we're going to get fog. So if you were planning on chasing the storm, I would say don't. Not if you have to drive more than an hour. I don't think it's going to, if something radically changes, I will let you know, but at this point in time, I do not look for this to be the forecast you're looking for. So I will leave it there. I will update this if something changes, and we will go from there.